be drawn and drawn.
No effect.
No effect on Q. That was enough to slow him down. It's a good decision for sure. At least it's one of a conservative player. And we've talked about this all weekend. Do you just completely stop right here, or do you push just a little further?
I think it makes sense to establish Track Maker, which it looks like Daniel agrees with. He's going to combine the rotary that we knew we had with that Q on field. This is, you know, one of the ways that you get access to knowledge of the hand and, of course, the top of the deck.
I will go.
A lot of value, a lot of information.
Yeah, this is a reasonable trade because it's only going to net one draw. And this is a double search plus knowledge. So definitely when you're playing against both Fualos and Perulia, you at least go this far. Because this, of course, will net him a Cool Tune Synchro, which is, as we've seen all weekend, arguably the best form of interaction that he'll have on Michael's opening turn.
Oh, wow, what a hand. The super polymerization obviously is interesting, but the 2 copies of Black Chaos, it's not bad, it's not great, it's also pretty great when you think about it. You can go discard, put Mind Shuffle face up on the field, and then use the Ragged Records of Right. So there's definitely some gas in the tank for Micheal, but if you're unfamiliar with this deck, maybe Daniel doesn't know it, maybe he hasn't played against it as often, maybe he doesn't know what he's looking at right now.
I think if you've made it this far into the tournaments, the round 13 feature match, you have to have played against Light and Darkness, at least to some extent. It is arguably, I think, the second most common deck at the top tables at this point in the tournament.
Definitely making a name for himself, but it looks like we're going to add the Cool Tune Synchro all the same.
Top 2.
And let's see what the top 2 are. Grifo and Super Polymerization. We might be breaking some boards. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's a lot of super polymerizations. The Grifo is also redundant, though, relative to the Black Chaos. It's interesting in the sense that would you rather have to play through multiple super polymerizations or allow your opponent to have the Grifo that you can obviously use as a replacement for a ritual summon? It's kind of an interesting decision point here. I think you banish the super poly, but I'll allow Daniel. He's sitting here in a round 13 feature match.
Banish top.
So we're going to banish the Grifo. It might come back via Skull Archfiend Chaos we were just talking about, but I guess locking him into the Super Poly is where he wants to be. He might think he's got an answer for the Mind Shuffle from the Black Chaos, so maybe that's of no note at all.
And then maybe he considers, I could just play around Super Poly. I have to do it anyway. If I'm playing around 1, it's the same functionally as playing around 2. And getting rid of Grifo may potentially stymie Michael's ceiling on his turn. So I will trust Daniel's judgment on this one. But here he's going to follow up with JJ Cool Tune. One of the unfortunate realities here is this is going to net Micheal, obviously, that super polymerization off the top, which means that Daniel will not be playing with complete full knowledge. Oh, unless he elects to bring Clip to hand. You know, this is also an option.
So Clip added there, decides not to do anything further. Gonna go ahead and set. Didn't quite see what that trap card might have been.
So instead of the Track Maker interaction, he values searching out Clip, which totally makes sense. JJ Cool Tune does allow you to add to hand as opposed to special summon from deck. I was assuming there may be a potential special summon. Does make sense, though. A special summon essentially means you'd have to special summon twice, both from the deck and then from the extra deck, to make that special summon meaningful. So it makes a lot of sense to search out a copy of Clip. Micheal will start here, though, with the Blazing Cartesia.
Definitely the way in here. Hasn't gone straight into discarding Black Chaos for the Mind Shuffle, so valuing drawing out the interactions with the Blazing Cartesia. It'll take a moment to figure out what he wants to do next. Looks at those set cards, maybe we'll get a preview of what it is he set after all.
Sure. Attempt to activate if used.
So we're activating the effect of the Blazing Cartesia here on Michael's side, and that's fine, it's good. So Fusion 7, Charles are Black Chaos and Blazing Cartesia. And that is going to net at Granguinal.
Thinking on trigger.
Oh no, we are. Okay, good.
Granguinal to dump.
Yeah, he's thinking on triggers. It's just Granguinal here that we'll be activating.
Daniel takes a long pause here. Takes another look at those cards, just wondering what's behind door number 1 or 2.
We know he has a copy of Cool Tune Synchro. He actually has 2 copies of Cool Tune Synchro set.
I think it might have been an Infinite Permanence, the trap card in the middle, but looks like we're activating the Cool Tune Synchro.
We obviously know he has Clip in his hand as well.
Right, so let's see what he goes for here. So this is Michael's main phase. But since you have the clip in hand, obviously you're lining up your shot in this sense, as it looks like we're going to add, I believe, a Cool Tune mix. Yep, from the deck to the hand.
That one is the monster pop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Mix is the one that destroys monsters. Easy way of remembering that is that Mix starts with the letter M, and so does the word monster. It's great to have little simple mnemonics when trying to learn whether it's new cards or cards that have been around for a little while.
Okay.
All right, so of course we paid the cost there. We got our Skull Artrina cast to the graveyard via Granguinol. Allows you to send the ritual, yeah.
Yeah, the ritual. The Cool Tunes actually have a lot of good mnemonics. Clip lets you rip from the extra deck, and Q gives you a clue about the top of your opponent's deck.
Ooh, thanks, Teach.
Anytime.
Yes, that's good. No response.
All right, we'll not respond to that, so Clip is going to get summoned. There we go. Follow the procedure. I know it's so tempting to take shortcuts, but that is really the calling of Yu-Gi-Oh! To do everything and more. So, speaking of more, here comes a bunch of card effects with Cool Tune Trackmaker hitting the field.
So here he's reestablishing that Trackmaker. So I mentioned the Trackmaker could be a form of interaction on Michael's turn. It still very much can. It's just going to be a brand new copy, allowing him to utilize his Clip with the Mix.
Chainlink to Clip.
Pretty easy to ritual summon level 8 there.
So it looks like Michael is going to use the on-field effect of Granguinol to banish it, so therefore there'll be nothing on the field for Mix to successfully target and destroy. Clip, though, will rip from the extra deck, and it looks like he hit a copy of, wow, the Black Dragon.
Now, it can come back with the Skull Artrina Chaos, but that still kind of hurts that you're losing those interactions so early. And that you don't really have that ceiling for this turn anymore unless you pull yourself back out.
Yeah.
But we're bringing out Despian, Lulu, Lilith. Monster leaves the extra deck, of course. You can power up your monsters by 500 and then negate a card, I believe. But more importantly for this deck, it does allow you to get out those spellcasters with the same attack as defense. And famously,
on res.
of course, Incredible Ecclesia meets up, but so does Pharaoh the Primordial Goddess and a number of other things that work in this strategy.
I'm gonna go.
So now it looks like in the open game state, or in response to the summon, we'll utilize Cool Tune Synchro. So that is the second copy of Cool Tune Synchro. Now we'll see Michael utilize one of the 2 super polymerizations. So it's important to note that this is not a surprise to Daniel. Daniel knew that there was not only just 1, but 2 copies of super polymerization. So this is something that he should have had within his calculus. Michael, though, will summon the brand new Confounder.
Nixusha. And really interesting card in a lot of different fusion strategies. Had similar luck in Invoked as well.
That's good.
But having, you know, the double super poly.
Here.
One super poly is just as good as 2, but wow, it's really working.
And of course, Trackmaker is just
effects,
used as material for a fusion summon, so it will not be bouncing that Confounder.
Fortunately, that is
Putting
not the right
Grifo.
material type for him. But looks like we are going to go ahead and
Putting these
use... And I only meant that, by the way, in Synchro versus Fusion, right? But we are going to use the Skull Artrina cast, return those cards back.
Are you speaking about Confounder?
Yeah, I just meant in the sense that you're not going to get the effect when you fusion off your Cool Tune Trackmaker.
Okay,
You're going to
yeah.
when you Synchro stuff.
No, that's what I meant, yeah.
Shuffle back.
But it was a little bit of a vague book post, so
Anything
sorry
here?
about that.
Effect, banish 2.
Oh, and a non-target banish 2, unaffected if you've got the ritual in the graveyard. None other than Black Chaos. What an incredible monster.
Dude.
And Daniel admits
Wow.
that is it.
That's it? Okay, Michael made it. Daniel, unfortunately, just
What
letting
a
him sigh.
Impressive.
Smile on his face. I think there's a lot of relief as he gets even closer, but you still got some Swiss rounds ahead, Michael, so don't get ahead of yourself, but we'll get to hear from him later on. But the super polymerization, just what a stacked and interestingly, not a layered hand, but in the sense, just kind of a duplicitous hand, right? Having multiple Black Chaos, multiple super polymerization, you are going to get a very specific combo off and prove to be winning.
He never even needed to put Mind Shuffle on the field either.
He really didn't.
So it just illustrates some of the flexibility this deck has when you incorporate the branded package. I think that's really what was pivotal there. By incorporating the branded package, it does give you access, obviously, to super polymerization. We've seen that as a popular counter to Cool Tunes in the last few months. And then, obviously, when you're able to summon Black Chaos in the manner in which we saw in that previous game, sometimes you don't actually even need Mind Shuffle to deal sufficient amount of damage, or at least take control of the field. Cards like Black Chaos do a great job of picking apart your opponent's board.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that the deck very much stands on its own. We've talked about like which mixture of the cards is the right one, but I think that doesn't underscore that it is a completely competent deck on its own. But, you know, you get a high ceiling if you had the Asamana package, you get like some extra combos if you had the Red Dragon Archfiend, but here I think the branded portion of it just really gave it like a little bit of grind, a little bit of push, but also the super polymerizations. Like, it had so many different things, and hey, if you run into somebody playing the same strat, you can also fuse your monsters off too for the same fusions you got in your extra deck. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
we've seen the flexibility of super polymerization truly for years at this point.
Many, many years, right? Was that in your deck when you had your YCS top?
It was the one time that I played with heroes, yeah.
Yeah,
it
there you
was.
go.
Elements of heroes matched up with the opponent's attributes. We didn't have all the elements of heroes at that point, but there was no great tornado. But yeah, the Shining, for instance.
Oh, good stuff at the time, and honestly, it shows that super polymerization is just a very storied and fabled card. Gives you some great going second opportunities, some good going first, and even during the battle phase, combining your own monsters, it's just a really great card. As they're piling through the table, I did get to see some other stuff there. I won't spoil any surprise because the tournament is still in contention there, but Michael's got some interesting stuff we didn't get to see. So I guess, oh yeah, there it is. Well, I will be quiet. But man, cool cards, cool cards.
And as you know, this tournament progresses, we're getting closer and closer to the top 8. Maybe you have the answer in terms of exactly how the Light and Darkness ritual strategy should be constructed. I'm starting to feel like maybe it is the branded variation as opposed to the Azamina variation that's going to ultimately rise to the top and slot at least one duelist into the top 8. I think at this point we're pretty confident we'll see at least one, if not more.
No, it makes sense. We saw how far into a tournament branded can go and how far into a dual branded can go at the YCS Columbus Finals, where we basically had two very different branded decks, but it was kind of a branded mirror match at times, and it gives you a lot of just like a length into your duel and survivability. When you combine that with how much of a flex you have with all of the Light Darkness ritual cards, you really get like this perfect circle. Not to make a joke about another deck out there, but it's really impressive stuff. Like, I'm just loving watching this.
I think branded has historically always been a deck that, if piloted to its max potential, just nets so much card advantage, follow-up, interactions. It's just one of those decks that inherently, if you can just squeeze every ounce of value from each of those cards that are within the archetype, whether that's obviously Fallen in the Virtuous, Shrouded Dragon. Earlier than that, in different iterations, there were cards like, you know, Branded in Red and Guardian Chimera that come to mind when the deck really was first popularized quite a few years ago. I think it's just one of those decks that's always historically really benefited players that understand how to pilot it. And speaking of our pilot, let's actually hear about Michael in that previous feature match.
That's right. Michael is with me. 11 wins. I see the smile on your face. How does it feel to get that win?
I felt really good. It was just like, you know, I just got lucky. I feel like I got lucky with some of my draws, and I had the right cards to play. And my opponent, you know, he conceded early, just make it, you know, make the time go faster. And great person. And today's just been a fabulous day for me, for now.
For now. Okay, I love that little period there. I mean, the day is not over yet. The pressure is still on. So what's going through your head right now?
There's still more rounds to play, and I'm hoping not to lose any more rounds from now till, you know, till top cut probably, and hoping to win one of those nice beautiful mats and to make it to Japan.
What are you telling yourself right now? Like, what's the game plan?
Don't focus on top cut yet. Just focus on the matches ahead of me first. So focus on like what I'm gonna play, and don't worry about, like, you know, try not to get pressured by anything, right? You know, like, don't worry about all the matchups. If I play this, what am I gonna do? If I play that, what am I gonna do? Right? Just play.
Just play. Don't overthink it. Okay, I love that. Is there anything you want to say to those watching at home?
Shout out to my testing group. Shout out to all the people I came with to the event. Shout out to some of my locals. You know, shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody. All right, thanks so much, Michael. Back to our casters.
Shout out to everybody. Does that include us?
I think so.
Yeah, whatever. But either or, I love the attitude there from Micheal, right? Just play, just play. And speaking about just playing, it looks like we actually have a backup featured